what your policies will be for global warming and alternative energies in the future? And if it includes coal, what your stand on mountaintop removal might be as well?
What I would want, yes, the answer is I think that, I think energy independence, and you can define energy independence as energy independence or energy diversity, but being more independent of foreign oil, and also looking for methods of producing energy that don't do damage to the environment and don't contribute to global warming. I think those are all things we should make a major national priority. I think it should be a priority on the level of putting a man on the moon was. Even, the Manhattan Project, you can use that as an example of. And I think it has 4 overwhelming reasons we should do it. It never quite had 4 before. So maybe that's the reason why, even though we started talking about it with Nixon and Carter, we've never done it. And I have to also tell you this in my own defense. I'm good at getting things done that other people haven't gotten done. That's most of the things I accomplished as mayor of New York City, other people had tried and didn't accomplish it, including cleaning up Times Square. There's a lot of history to energy independence that we could pick up on. We made mistakes, but we can learn from it. So here are the 4 reasons we have to do it. 1, it's good for our economy. Number 2, it's good for our global economy. This is a great industry for us to sell around the world. It's the way to attack our trade imbalance. Let's be the world leader in energy independence. We can make a lot of money in India and China and the rest of the world because they need it more than we do. And we got to teach it to them. And if you really want to solve global warming, you have to teach it to them. Because honestly, it doesn't matter what we do. And you say, well, let's do it by way of example. Nonsense. Doing it by way of example doesn't matter unless it's going to work for them. They have a very big problem, a real one. They have, between the 2 of them, $1.5 billion, more than that, in poverty. About 900 million to $1 billion in China, about 900 million in India. These are people living in poverty that we wouldn't even know. They want to take those people out of poverty. They realize the stability of their country ultimately rests on their ability to do that. You can't do that with less energy. If you say, let's conserve, let's stop the use of energy, let's take away methods now, you're saying to them, you've got to keep 800 million people in poverty each. They're going to say, no, thank you. We're not going to do it your way. We're going to get those people out of poverty. So we got to find for them a way to supply the energy needs of this constantly growing population, as well as ours, and not harm the environment. So what do we do? Well, here are a couple of things. There are many things we have to do. Here are some of the big ones. Coal, clean coal, carbon sequestration. It works. It's very expensive. We should help, the government should help, through whatever is necessary to get that to becoming a cost-effective process. That will particularly help us because we have more coal reserves in the United States than they have oil reserves in Saudi Arabia. We should be using our coal reserves more so we reduce, to that extent, our reliance on oil reserves. People say, well, no, it doesn't work that way because we don't use a lot of oil for home heating and for electricity. But we use it for transportation. Well, then the answer to that is we should do hybrid vehicles. We should really expand hybrid vehicles. If you think about plugging the car in, right? The more we can be relying on that electricity to drive our cars and our trucks, and maybe, who knows, God willing, someday our airplanes. The more we can be relying on that, the more we'll be relying on electricity, which we've figured out how to produce without using a lot of oil. So the more we can move this toward the electricity part, the more we can become energy independent, and the more we can not do harm to the environment. That gets us to another one. France, 80% of the power needs, electrical power needs of France are supplied by nuclear power. 20% in the United States. France is on its way to going to 85%. America's going down to 15%. China is building 40 nuclear power plants. We haven't licensed a nuclear power plant in 30 years. Why? People are afraid of nuclear power. Okay, let's deal with the fear for a minute. No one has died from nuclear power in all the years that we've been using it in the United States. Every form of power is dangerous, including nuclear power. Power is inherently dangerous, right? People have died from coal. People have died from electricity. People have died from oil spills and oil fires. Every form of power. It's a dynamic that creates danger. But we've been able to handle nuclear power in a way that is safe. Well, we should enhance the safety of it, but we should not run away from nuclear power. If we do, we're not going to have, actually, if we do, we don't have any practical way to deal with global warming. We don't. And then wind, solar, hydroelectric, water, all of it should be expanded. It's only 7% of our source right now. It is conceivable to get it up to about 15%. If they ever make a breakthrough in figuring out a real sophisticated battery that can hold the power and deliver it consistently, it could be a real answer. Conservation, more conservation. Think of these things incrementally. If each one of them could contribute anywhere from 5 to 20% more, then you've gotten yourself to more energy independence, cleaner environment. But then there is one other thing that we have to do. We need more refineries right now. We need more refineries. We need more oil. Because we're not going to be able to realistically promise our people that we're not going to have to use oil. We can, all these things, biofuels, ethanol, got to expand that. That doesn't remove the need for oil. It reduces the amount of oil that we're going to have to use. But we need more refineries. And we need more domestic oil. You do all those things, and you've helped to solve a national security problem. Because then we'll have more leverage in dealing with these countries that are enemies of ours. And we'll have a great product, or products to sell all over the world. This is a wonderful thing to do. And I don't see much partisan division on this. I don't think this requires Democrats and Republicans. There's a little bit of partisan division over nuclear because of the fears of nuclear power. But aside from that, there's not much partisan division over this. We should be able to get this done.